If you are a follower of the Marvel movies, you, of course, are aware that the next Avengers film is going to be Avengers Infinity War. And that, of course, is going to be the grand ensemble movie that will involve most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was kind of hoping for all, but according to a recently revealed casting call for this is for both the next. By the way, and Infinity Wars is going to be it's going to be like a part 1 and a part 2, although they're not going to call the second one Infinity Wars part 2. So Avengers 3 will be Infinity Wars. Avengers 4 coming out the next year will have a different title that we're not aware of yet. But here are the names of the characters that they have announced that are going to be in these next 2 Avengers films. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Bucky, Nick Fury, Thanos, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Ant-Man, Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy, Nebula, and it looks like Doctor Strange as well. Oh, and then of course the new character who's supposed to be revealed will be Captain Marvel. Who's missing from that list, Matt?
Spider-Man.
Yep, yeah. Spider-Man's missing.
Spider-Man.
From the list. Of what is arguably going to be the largest 2 Marvel films, and you don't have Spidey in it?
I could think of at least one reason why.
Please enlighten me.
He is still in high school?
So it's okay for him to go help Tony Stark in a somewhat minor squabble with Captain America, but when the universe is at risk from Thanos getting the Infinity Gems or stones, whatever we're calling them, and the Gauntlet,
I'm just saying
he needs to focus on his high school.
Everyone else, everyone that you just named is above the age of like 21.
I'm going to start calling you Chi-Chi. Because you're Gohaning Spider-Man right now. You're telling him that he needs to work on his homework and not worry about saving the world.
I don't understand your reference.
You don't watch Dragon Ball.
No.
And therefore, you're like worth nothing at this point.
Basically.
For this argument, this moment in time.
I'm a grain of dust in this giant
you're
hourglass.
Not even that. Not even that.
I'm the electron bouncing off the atom that contains.
I wouldn't even say you're a quark level, sir.
Oh, man. We're reaching
I know. Further and further subatomic particles.
I don't know. You know, Ant-Man. Yay.
Nope. However small you got, Ant-Man. Smaller.
I'm the little particle effects.
Maybe you should be in the movie.
Ant-Man 2, I'll be there.
Oh, gosh.
But no, like, seriously. Like, Tony had, like, he had a problem with him, like, continuing on and helping them. He told him, like, even in Infinity War, or not Infinity War.
Civil War.
He's like, no. Like, you're no longer needed. Like, just go back home, go rest.
But that was, like, for the day. And then, of course, you know, he's going to go through this whole, I kind of feel like, so Homecoming is, of course, going to come out before this comes out.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like he's going to go through the same thing then, too. I mean, just like the whole, like, you know, you need to just let you know, the big kids, the big heroes take care of the villains. It's like, no, he's Spider-Man. He has gifts and powers that he needs to use. Like, I honestly don't think it's up to Tony Stark. I think something's going on.
It's not, but I think with Tony supplying him with a suit and I think helping him out in other ways, he might kind of feel a little responsible for him now. Kind of like an investment. He's investing in the superhero of Spider-Man. And he wants that. He probably wants that investment to grow and, become big and worth something. So I can imagine Tony kind of taking the part of not Uncle Ben, but kind of just like stepping in as like hey, listen, I'm older than you. You're in high school. You're like 16 or 17. You're staying here because I don't want your death on my hands.
So here's the real reason, I think.
Okay.
No. Okay,
no. You go ahead. No. I want to hear this. No.
You are talking about it from a story perspective. I'm going to talk about it from a movie studio perspective.
All
right. I think there could be problems in Paradise when it comes to this arrangement between Sony and Marvel sharing the character for movie rights. I think it's that simple. And when I say Marvel, who I really mean is Disney. And I just don't know what could be the problem, because I figured that they got this. I figured they were chill with this. They got it all smoothed out, all the details figured out. All I can say is this. If Spider-Man is not in at least the second movie, I will be okay if he's not in the first one. Still don't think it's the best decision, but it would still be okay. If he doesn't even show up for the second one, what point does he have to be in the cinematic universe if he's only going to be in Civil War and his own movies? Like, if any movie is going to bring him in, it's going to be this one. It's just, to me, like, I don't get the decision. Like, whoever made this decision, like, because with these casting calls, these are not just, they're not like, oh, well, we've got someone that we're not telling you about who we're keeping under wraps. I mean, because people are pretty much, number one, that doesn't make sense because we're pretty much expecting Spider-Man at this point. This is a surprise to hear that Spidey's not going to be in this film. Everyone would be expecting him, especially after he showed up in Civil War. So I just, this is not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. You seem to be okay.
From looking at it story-wise, I can see it making sense, and I'm okay with that.
In practically every single Marvel mashup, multi-storyline event in any comic event, name it, Spider-Man's there. And he's usually one of the main characters. I mean, he was one of the main characters in Civil War. He was probably the pivotal character in the Civil War comic. You can look at the other events that affect all of the Marvel universe, and because Spider-Man is Marvel for all intents and purposes. I mean, yes, Marvel has been very successful with their studio stuff. Maybe they could be doing this thing kind of like what they've been doing with X-Men and Fantastic Four, where they're not really doing much with the comic or video games.
Do not jinx this series by bringing those two names in this. Please.
I'm just saying, if Marvel had them, they would be treating them better as intellectual property.
Honestly, like, other than a Silver Surfer fan, is there anyone who's actually like a huge fan of the Fantastic Four?
Classic comic fans are. Like, I'm talking like the old ones.
Like X-Men, I can see, like, I know there are people that want those movies to be like, they want justice done to them. Like, they want some good X-Men movies. I don't know, like, Fantastic Four, I don't hear anyone like
clamoring for more Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't hear anyone talking about like X-Men movies, but
it would be nice to see a well done Fantastic Four movie.
It would be, so they could stop making them.
I wouldn't mind them being part of the MCU. I really wouldn't. I mean, look, if there's room for Doctor Strange, there's room for Fantastic Four.
Dude, Doctor Strange is huge.
Now,
I mean, like in the universe.
are you talking about like just how powerful he is?
In the MCU universe, I mean, he's
Okay.
He's like one of the most powerful beings in the universe.
Yeah, but let's face it, Iron Man was like a B-lister for the longest time. And then he gets a really good movie, and suddenly he's like the cream of the crop. That's because the movie just did super well. I just feel like they might be slighting Spider-Man simply because they share it with Sony, and well, that's just going to help Sony's movie. It's like, don't be like that. Please just don't do that kind of stuff.
Could be.
Like, you could do it to, as far as I'm concerned, not everyone will agree with me. I agree with you. Like, you could do that to Fantastic Four all day, and I wouldn't be all that sad about it. X-Men kind of makes me like a little bit like irritated, but Spider-Man is like the one thing you can't mess with to me. And
Tobey Maguire.
It's really, what about Tobey Maguire? To me, you can't make this decision good.
That's not super fair to him. The writers had a big problem, or a big part in that, and the director.
Well,
everyone involved in that movie.
So far, both franchises have had issues, and we'll see how. And Tom Holland is nailing it so far. So, but man, I would love to see him in this movie, both of them.